Hey, Landria here, and welcome to the Positive Channel. That just sort of says it all, doesn't it? Today, I want to talk about quantum physics. What does that have to do with being positive? Well, it has everything to do with being positive. If you've ever studied Edgar Cayce, and I've done quite a bit of that on my other big channel, because Edgar Cayce has predicted and projected a lot of things for our planet that are quite negative. But why? Why? Well, he's warning us of what negative thinking and behavior can create because now quantum physics shows that we are actually creating that. But the other half of Casey's messages is mind is the builder. And that's what I want to talk about today. Because when he talks about the earth going through all these cataclysmic events and wars and all these other things, he also talks about a period of time called the purging, the rebirth of humans, and going into what he calls the one consciousness. Well, you might be familiar with this. You're probably a somewhat spiritual person if you're on here because you know there's something bigger than just the material world. And I'm here to tell you that you would be right. We know about the double slit experiment when scientists wanted to find out if light was a wave or a particle. And they found out it was both. It was a wave until observed, and then it turned into a particle. Okay, let's translate that. Everything is a wave, everything's a probability until we observe it, we give it attention. That's called entanglement. And when you look at something, it turns into a particle. That means it actually becomes something in the material world. But what is that something? The step further, they found out that the beliefs of the experimenters affected the outcome. Oh, yes. It wasn't just the observation alone, it was what they believed. Now, you've heard of remote viewers, and I'm going to do a whole video on that. Remote viewers were used by the government, probably still are. They say they aren't, but I know they probably are. And they were looking into what's existing out there, usually trying to figure out missile bases, stuff like that, military installations. But it was present day. As soon as they tried to look into the future, they got completely different results. Why? They realized that the person doing the remote viewing of that future affected that view according to their beliefs. Right. So if they were negative thinkers, if they thought the future was going to be negative, they would see a negative future. What does that tell us? We all control that future. We control that present day. That thought that you're having right now is creating. And so we're so programmed on negativity, and that's the ego. The ego wants to protect itself in the material world. So, as Edgar Cayce said, and I'm going to go more into it on this channel, everything, everything can be changed through thought. You can't just think it, you have to believe it, right? You can't be thinking, oh, I'm wealthy, but you're thinking, I'm so broke. The belief actually dominates those feelings. It's called a frequency. So, do you believe that your thoughts are creating? This isn't woo-woo, it's science. They are. What do we want to do? We want to avoid negativity at all costs. So I want to create a channel where you will always come away knowing, A, you are massively powerful. B, you can control any situation provided you are not overriding free will. You can't say, I want this person to do something or them to stop doing something, or I want you to love me. That is free will that you would be overriding, and it's possible because that person doesn't have to love you. Those events don't have to happen. But what you can do is bring things into your reality, such as a better job, a better relationship, more money, whatever it is, you can bring it in. And that which aligns with that will appear. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to entangle with negativity. If you are watching any channels or videos out there that tell you that we are going into a negative future, your energy field is affected by that. So you will have those negative thoughts there. They don't go away. Once you expose yourself to that, it's part of your energy field. And it takes a while to wash those out, right? You have to like, oh, I got to get that out of my head. And it never actually does get out of your head, right? Those negative thoughts. We have to be very careful with that. So what I want you to know is you can do a simple exercise and you can start doing it every day And you're going to see a big change if you do this. First of all, you have to really know, you have to really believe and know that you hold this power. And it is said everywhere by just about every prediction or prophecy of hundreds of years ago that we really are controlling. We're co-creators, right? We do know this. The Bible says, these things you shall do and more. These things I do, you can do. When did we stop believing it? I don't think we ever believed it. So those thoughts, we want them to be positive ones. What if you took the entire day today and observed your thoughts? I used to have an app. Maybe I'm going to have to come back with that. It was a disruptor. It was called, What Are You Manifesting? What am I manifesting? Because that thought is creating. That thought is turning into a particle. Every probability exists. So you can say, well, that's going to happen and that's going to happen. Say, well, not if you change your thoughts about it. You now shift over here and you're in a different trajectory. And if it's a positive one, we do not have to go through cataclysmic events. And Edgar Cayce was very clear on this. He said point blank, none of these things that he sees ever has to happen, including the earth, because she and us are one. She's reflecting back to us our anger, our angst, our conflict. And when there isn't any, she will calm down, right? Just like your body becomes ill when you're in anxiety or fear. And when you're in unity, it is healthy. And your immune system goes up. And these are just facts. So take today and ask yourself, what am I manifesting? What am I thinking right now? I'm going to watch that. And I'm talking about everything. Judgment. Somebody walks down the street, they're not looking so great. Oh, I'll bet you that person's a no good drug addict. Oops, negative thought. Everyone is perfect. Every single person is a light being, just like you, that came down here perfect, but forgot that. And along the way, we got entangled with craziness and darkness, and we're exploring that. We'll talk more about why. But the point is, we don't have to live there anymore. But it takes real effort. Can you turn off the really negative stuff? And if you find it difficult to stop watching media, then I suggest you switch it all over to funny cat videos, funny dog videos, comedy. I watch American Idol. I admit that. I love to watch young people singing, talented people. It's wonderful. I watch all kinds of baking shows, people that get creative, a little competition and fun. These are creative, wonderful things that are expansive and they're positive. The more you stay in that, the more you raise your frequency, the healthier you're going to be, and you're going to see things, particles showing up in your life, events, money, health, relationships that you never expected. The ego wants to control what that is, but if you let that go and you just go into that positive space, you will be amazed. Start it today. Things can show up pretty quickly. Stay on it. So every moment of every day, I want you to take note. What am I manifesting? And then watch your patterns, what you're doing, gossip, what you're watching, social media, all of it. It has to change. If you're feeling anxiety or anything negative, you must be coming up with that from somewhere. Do you need to change your job? Do you need to change your relationship? I'm not encouraging that. But if that isn't working for you and you know it's not going to get better, maybe it's time for you to shift into a new reality, one that you deserve and that you connect to. So get busy. And we're going to talk pretty often about how you can do this and how just visiting this very positive channel can help you see the world differently, see other people differently, and it might make some sense at some point. I know it's not easy. So thank you for visiting the Positive Channel, and I will see you in the next sunny day. Take care.